Check 1, 2. The Fat Maxer Almighty Triple XL coming at y'all live and direct from Max City Limits Radio Show, MaxCity.com, and Power and Strategy. It's gonna be kind of like a little Q&A joint. Probably chop this up into 2 parts. The free section and the Patreon section. Biting off Alan Roger Curry. Yeah, I will admit that. It's this formula. I'm biting off Alan Roger Curry swag right here. It's a no-brainer. Yeah, I gotta do this, man. This makes a lot of sense. So, let me see here. First of all, let me go ahead and give a rest in peace. I don't know I'm late. I'm super late on this, man. I keep forgetting to do it, man. But rest in peace to Bushwick Bill. Damn, man. Did a lot of crazy shit, man. To the tunes of the Ghetto Boys, boy, when I was coming up as a youngster, man. That Fifth Ward shit used to have me amped, man. So, yeah, man. Since Bushwick has transitioned, man, it's like he gonna take a little piece of me with him, man. For real. Used to love me some Bushwick Bill. Little big man. Chuck Wick. One of some of my favorite joints, believe it or not. And let me also go ahead and answer a question about my man Tony. Because cats are missing the shows. Last time I talked to Tony, once again, he is doing a lot of work for his law firm. So I don't know what's going on with that. Last time I spoke to him, I basically told him, if you have any sort of topics, anything of interest that you want to do, give me a ring. And he has not gave me a ring, so therefore he must be busy, okay? So, gentlemen, don't know what to tell you. Maybe y'all need to hit that brother up and ask him what's going on. All right? Good Lord, man. That's all I'm saying, man. Just calm the fuck down, man. I miss baby bro too, but y'all just gonna have to wait till he get done handling his business as a man out here in the real world, man. All right. And let's see here. I'm about to probably get into some coon territory. About to start cooning hard. Haven't done anything that's worthy of the coon insult in a while. This might be it and shit, man. And consequently, let me go ahead and say, from our prior shows, you know, when we was accused of cooning, especially when I was accused of cooning, I figured out where I get my coon energy from, man. I figured it out. I did a 23andMe, my patrons know this. I did a 23andMe DNA test, and it turns out I'm like 30% European and 70% African. So yeah, that little that coon energy I got, man, where I do things as being perceived as cooning. Well, y'all know where it comes from now, man. It's that little Caucasian, that little white man that's trying to break free. Yeah, more specifically, let me see, 30% English and Irish, and like 70% Ghana, Ivory Coast, some shit like that. I don't know, man. But yeah, So the mystery has been solved, and when I start doing this, man, y'all just gonna have to bear with me and take pity on me, man, because, you know, it's that Caucasian, man. It's that Caucasian. It's that devil gene, bro. And so we're going to talk about a little bit of Trump right now, because everybody's talking about the immigration shit. How he's got ICE agents going around, so-called deporting motherfuckers and shit. People keep asking me, what do I think about it? And to me, you know, there's just like no common sense with niggas, man. There's like zero common sense. Let me see. when I listen to the news, and very rarely do I listen to the news, man, I hear shit like, Trump hates immigrants. He doesn't want immigrants here. How can he say that this country was founded upon immigrants? And I'm like, Trump doesn't hate immigrants. Once again, y'all know my repertoire. It's listening. The art of listening. Trump's issue is you came over here without following the proper procedures, man. That's all he's saying. He's saying if you're going to come over here, then you have to go through the certain checks and balances. There's a procedural process that must be done to get over here and be a citizen. You just can't just run over here and just sit your ass down and then voila, on some sneak shit and be a citizen, man. Well, the country in the so-called civilized Western world does that. America's doing it, right? And America's going to pay the piper for that shit, man. We only have a finite number of resources, and bruh, I'm just trying to tell you, especially black folks. Black folks are just so slow and dim-witted with the shit, man. Once again, as far as I know, and I've listened to Trump speak on the immigration issue, and all he's saying is if you're going to come over here, then you have to follow the proper procedures to get over here and legitimately become a citizen. Not necessarily seeing what's the big deal about that. You got to do that when you go to Canada. You got to do that when you're over there in Europe. I'm quite sure you have to do that when you're over there in China and Japan. But no, not over here in America. No. It's a free-for-all. And I try not to get political with it because to me, like I said, it's just a common sense issue. It's like if I was to come up to you and I'd say, hey man, I got like 15 homeless people and they don't have any place to go. I'd like you to go ahead and put them up in your spot, free room and board. Yeah man, you're going to have to feed, clothe, and house them. You know what I mean? So what do you say to that? I mean, most of y'all would be like, have you lost your goddamn mind, man? I can't afford that shit. You know what I mean? I don't have the money to feed these people, to clothe these people, for medical. I can't take care of just 15 motherfuckers off the street. You feel me? It's like, duh. Yeah, as above, so below. Same shit is popping with this immigration issue, man. There's only a finite number of resources to go around, man. At some point, somebody's going to have to pay for this shit, man. Duh. At some point, someone's going to have to pay for this shit. Then you got niggas out here talking about, well, may as well let the immigrants over because they're only taking jobs that niggas don't want anyway. Once again, that's not really the issue. The issue is if you're going to come over, you need to go through the proper checks and balances and procedures to become a citizen. That's the problem. You just can't have open borders, bro. Just can't have open borders. And, of course, the oligarchs, they do get rich off open borders, man. Because, like I said, these illegals that are coming in, they do jobs that black folks, for the most part, don't want to do. And why don't they want to do these jobs? Because, really, they ain't paying shit to do the jobs. Now, maybe if they actually provided a real living wage to do these so-called menial tasks, the menial labor, then black folks wouldn't have a problem or issue doing it. Just maybe. That's just wishful thinking. Here come my little coon side coming out. It's been my experience that most niggas have an aversion to hard work. They don't want to fuck with it, man. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. That's not even really the argument that Trump is presenting. Just like, hey, if you're coming over, we are running a civilized society here. You must go through the proper procedures to become a citizen. And if you don't do it, you can kick rocks, man. I don't really see why that's such a hard premise to figure out, man. There's some sort of disconnect with These niggas out here, it's just got to be a media thing, because the media just hammers and hammers certain talking points into the heads of the proletariat, man, the useless eater, and they just parrot what they're told by their media masters, man. So, I mean, I can even go to the prison, man, and draw upon my prison experience. And it just kills me, man, how even convicts have the wisdom to understand what's going on, man. A convict, even though it's a prison, even though he's in a block where there's stringent rules and regulations, what you can, what you can't do, where you can go, where you can't go, whatever, they still want the proper procedures and checks and balances of people coming into the block. A seasoned convict doesn't want his peace interrupted by fuckery, man. So therefore, they're real, should I say, sensitive to who comes into the block. They don't want snitches, they don't want rapists, and they don't want pedophiles and child molesters and shit. Or just problematic inmates, period, man. If you're a convict and you know that you ain't never leaving that mug for life, the last thing you want is cats coming up in there disrupting your peace, man. So a lot of times they put up stringent checks and balances about who can and who can't come and live and cohabitate in that block. Now, for the most part, it's not necessarily predicated upon resources, because of course it's prison and the state will provide the resources. Every now and then it can get into resources, man, when you're talking about certain drug activities and whatnot, you know what I mean? But for the most part, it's just, they just don't want unsavory characters. And that's, I'm using that term loosely because, you know, these are convicts and these are criminals. But basically, they just don't want people up in the spot that's going to cause trouble, that's going to make things harder for them in the long run. It's going to disturb their peace. And so when I hear people talking crazy about Trump, you know, he says that all Mexicans are rapists and I'm going to come over here and rape all the women. Look, man, he's never said any of that shit, man. He's just saying you need to be properly vetted because we don't want psychopaths, killers, rapists, and murderers coming over from the Latin countries, man. Why is this so hard to understand and figure out? Bruh, why is this so hard to figure out, man? Even a convict has enough sense to not want that kind of shit in a cell block where he lives, where he lays his head. Even a convict knows. Even a convict has his wisdom. And he's not even a free man. But no, you SJW motherfuckers, man. Jesus, man. What do you mean they can't come over? Who are you to say who's a rapist? Who are you to say? Well, that's why we're supposed to go through these proper procedures to make sure that they're not rapists, to make sure they're not wanted by the international police or authorities or whatever for doing so-called heinous crimes against women, children, and just people in general. Why is it so hard to understand that, yes, we need to vet these people coming in? The country was founded on immigrants. Okay, that's not the argument. You don't give two shits about immigration as far as who's coming over immigrating. He just wants to vet them. That's all. Shit. He not trying to vet people to come over from Europe or from Canada. Yes, they do that all the time. Yes, they do that shit all the time, man. Last time I heard, we have not had a sweeping epidemic of people from Europe and Canada sneaking into the country and staying. No, that's not happening. It's only happening from Mexico. But no, I would advise you people, man, to like seriously understand that even a convict, has enough sense to stand at the gate of his block and see who the fuck is coming in and going out. Even he has enough sense to do that shit. But not you niggas. Oh no. And of course, we got the situation where black folks really think that the Mexicans or the Latinos are their friend. And I mean, if you still on that shtick, man, I mean, there's nothing I can do to save you, man. I mean, it should be obvious. They don't give two shits about you, man. So you running around with your cape on trying to save them, and at the same time, slitting your own wrist in your crusade to save them, you're an idiot. You're a fucking idiot, man. But no, none of you would be so quick to pick up the mantle of having like 15, 20 homeless motherfuckers come shack up in your shit. Limited space, limited food, limited resources. And it'd be just basically all up to you to take care of all these people, man. And that's exactly what's going on. It is a microcosm of the macrocosm. Even immigrants who have come from Mexico or the Latin countries are all in favor of getting the illegals to come in and immigrate the correct way. Media's kind of keeping that on the down low, keeping that hush-hush. Okay, enough of that. Let me see here. I've been asked about the Dr. Boyce Watkins lawsuit, the Maria Lloyd joint. I have no idea what's going on with that. I would assume that it's reached a roadblock. Nothing has actually come of it because anti-Afro Svengali hasn't said a word about it. Therefore, it's not real news and it's a non-factor, and it was basically a waste of fucking time, just like me and Tony said, because she really didn't have a leg to goddamn stand on. Y'all gonna learn not to doubt what gets said on this podcast, man. If Maria Lloyd had any sort of weight to what she was saying, I believe she would have won it by now. And she obviously hasn't won it because anti-Afro Svengali is not strutting around peacocking talking about how right she was. So I don't really know what's going on with that. Last time me and Tony talked, I wanted him to go ahead and expound on that because he is the authority on things of that nature. But once again, he is making real money in the real world. So just gonna have to wait on that. Let's see what else we got. Another thing that just came in hot off the press. Cats is asking me about the Minister Jap knockout video. Oh shit, man. The Minister Jap knockout video. And the question is, do I think that was Minister Jap? And I'm speaking on it only because Minister Jap has came out and he's been addressing it for the past couple days already. So it's not like I'm saying anything that anybody don't know is out there, whatever. Because I hate to give heat and steam to something that would be false. But in this instance, in this case, I mean, you can't really tell, man. I seen the video, I rewound it, man, probably 30, 40 times to look to see if I could actually see if this was actually him. And my nigga, it looked, from the profile, it's dead on him, dog. From the profile, it's dead on him. From the voice, it's dead on him. You know what I mean? But if there's even 1% or 5% of a chance it could not be him, the only way to know that really is to get a full frontal view of the brother's face. Shit. I mean, I even measured the nigga's ears, man. I mean, for the nigga's ears to the hairline, everything, man. It's dead on Jap nigga. It's like, god damn, boy. It's dead on the nigga, man. But unless you actually see the full frontal of the brother's face, there's some reasonable doubt there. You know, I mean, just me going around the city, there's a couple cats around in this city right now. People claim I look just like, or they look just like me. Or we can go to the famous shit. People say, like, if I put up a picture of me on my Facebook, man, shit, or, excuse me, if I put up a picture of E40 on my Facebook, people swear up and down that's me. Because people say that me and E40 look so much alike. You know what I mean? So, there's reasonable doubt there, man. So, if Jap say that ain't him, fuck it. I'm gonna just say, all right, Jap, it ain't you, dog. You know what I'm saying? There is reasonable doubt. Unless you see the full frontal of the brother's face. You know, even though from the side it's a dead ringer, and that voice is a dead ringer. Shit, man. I'll go ahead. I'm gonna get a brother, you know, the reasonable doubt, man. Shit. Because it's happened to me before, man. I've been a victim of mistaken identity locally myself, man. Shit. So it can happen, and it does happen, bro. With that being said, man, I would not blame anybody for not believing a word Jap says when he says it ain't him. All right, let's get into some psychology, man. Let's get into the mindset of these broads, man, these women out here. And we're going to do that in the Patreon, man, on the inside. So if you want to hear what I have to say about dating practices and about how to circumnavigate a woman's fuckery, kindly go to www.patreon.com/Back City Limits. You're going to find tons of podcasts that's not out here on the outside, dating all the way back to 2005. You're going to get pictures. You're going to get scribes. You're going to get journal logs. You're going to get a lot of ism, man, in that Patreon, bruh. Speaking on a myriad of topics and social and economic issues as well. Also got some old archive payroll to pimp shit, too. You know what I mean? When the golden age of podcasting was just taking off, man, around 2005. So once again, we're going to go ahead and talk a little bit more about the psychology of dating and what you should and what you should not do, as far as I'm concerned, when you date a woman. I'm out.